serves you opportunities
to ask great questions,
contribute solutions,
and transform society for the better.
I'm listening. Are you?
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Are you up to date with ideas for sustainable development?
92.3 Nigeria Info serves you opportunities
to ask great questions,
contribute solutions,
and transform society for the better.
I'm listening. Are you?
Different ideologies
and different perspectives.
Share your views on the sunny side.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Did you know?
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 Did you know? Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Bole and fish. Bole and fish is a Nigerian delicacy made of roasted plantain and fish. The meal is a special street food or roadside delicacy which the capital of Rivers State, Port Harcourt, has been identified with. As a matter of fact, Port Harcourt is now known as the capital of bole and fish, as visitors who have heard of the delicacy always request for it as a treat. The ingredients that make up bole and fish, plantain and fish, are readily available in Rivers State, which is a tropical rainforest region. Plantain is a staple food in many tropical regions and easily grows in swampy areas. It could be prepared ripe or unripe and is either fried, boiled, smoked, or roasted. The many rivers in Rivers State make fish available for the bole and fish combination. Bole and fish is usually served with a hot and spicy palm oil sauce or stew, with secret ingredients only known to the one who prepares the sauce. Remember, palm oil was once the mainstay of the Nigerian economy, so it is no surprise that it's a constant for the bole and fish sauce. There is a variant of bole and fish in some parts of Nigeria. In the western parts, it is known as bole, and it is served with ground nuts. However, a well-prepared bole and fish from Port Harcourt would leave you with a finger-licking experience and longing for more.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know?
Different ideologies
and different perspectives.
Share your views on the sunny side.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Rounding down to the end of the month. It's a lovely Monday afternoon. I do hope that it's sunny on your side of town. If not, don't worry. I'm here to make sure it does before the show is over. Well, we're going to kickstart a conversation today with our high institutions. Yes, we're going to be talking about our high institution, not just the high institutions themselves, but the students. So I know that when I was in school, as a matter of fact, I won't let you in on it just yet. You're going to have to keep listening for that. At 1 o'clock, the news updates, and right after, we'll have a conversation about marriage. And at 1:30, BBC Talk Your Own will link up to that. At 2 p.m., the series will join me right after the news update for Family Matters. That's the conversation for you on the show today.
Different ideologies.
Different perspectives.
Share your views on the sunny side.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Now, we all know that it's no exaggeration that the number of students in Nigerian universities, that is, state, federal, and even private universities, are on the rise. The numbers keep increasing. We have a lot of students who will be graduating from secondary school and will begin to seek admission into our high institutions. And many of these universities actually lack the capacity to build students halls of residences, that's the hostels. Some even lack, sufficient hall of residences, and perhaps this probably has led to the emergence of cohabitation amongst Nigerian university students. Now, cohabitation is not commonly used to describe people who are merely sharing, a living space, or who call themselves, like we call them here, roommates. Rather, it pertains to either heterosexual couples. But it is mostly commonly used in reference to couples, So you say, oh, I'm in a relationship with a man and we're cohabiting. I'm living with him or he's living with me. That's in such scenarios is when we usually use that term, cohabiting, So when you say, oh, my sister is cohabiting with her boyfriend or with her fiance, But in this context, we have found that right now, in Nigeria, there is a very huge concern about students cohabiting of the opposite sex, not roommates, not 10 girls, sandwiched into a room in the name of, we're living in a hostel. It has eroded the level of morality amongst many youths, and that's why, there's also a paper that stated a high rate of abortion because, according to the argument in the paper, because of cohabiting females who often get pregnant and because they're not prepared for parenting and all of that and all of that and all of that. But why do we have such a problem right now? Why has cohabiting in our universities become such a problem in 2021? You'd find that female students are not just the only ones who indulge in cohabiting. You find even male students now live in the same hostel with other girls, and the argument will be, well, there is not enough hostel space. We don't have enough facility to accommodate both the boys and the girls. So rather than having male hostels, female hostels, as is the case in so many of our universities, we now have general hostels. Hostels that accommodate both the boys and the girls. So in a situation where your next door neighbor is not just a boy, as a matter of fact, you could be paired up as a roommate with a boy. Does this sound familiar? Would you say this is your experience, or perhaps the experience of someone that you know in your school? Because I know that for some people, they may not really be comfortable coming out and say, oh yes, I have a male roommate. But I really would like to know what it's like. I know back in my time when I was in school, we had both the male hostels and the female hostel. As a matter of fact, the male and female hostels were so far apart, it was almost I don't know, maybe a 20-30 minute walk. So I mean, there was no shared experience whatsoever with the male students, none. You would have to literally take a long walk to the boys' hostel, which was quite the distance, quite the distance. But right now, the case is kind of different. I'm not saying that we do not still have male and female hostels. We do, as a matter of fact. Many of our institutions still have male and female hostels. But you find that some, I just don't want to mention names, there are some universities that also have quote and unquote general hostels. These hostels are not official. What I mean by that is they don't write, oh, this is a general hostel for boys and girls. No, it is unofficial, behind the doors, under the table. That this particular building accommodates both the boys and the girls. They both pay the same figure in that hostel just because they're in school to learn and they need accommodation. Why do you think things have degraded this this poorly? Why have we come to a place wherein we cannot, rather than improve our standards, we're plummeting? Our standards are literally plummeting. Is this a norm in other parts of the world? I took my time to go through and perhaps search out for universities in Europe, in America, Australia, China, that perhaps had general hostels for the students. And well, we cannot even begin to draw a parallel because, again, our culture is different, our lifestyles differ as well, so it doesn't draw up a reasonable parallel. But based off of our experience here in Nigeria, in Africa, based off of our experience, what do you think about cohabiting in higher institutions? That is, not boyfriend and girlfriend level or relationship level, but having a male roommate. What do you think about that? Do you think it shouldn't be a problem? Do you think, oh well, it shouldn't matter, it shouldn't even be a topic for conversation, because the students are in school to learn, to acquire an education, so where they lay their head to rest at the end of the day shouldn't matter, be it a boy or a girl and a girl, or the boy and a boy paired up in the room, it doesn't matter? Or do you think it is going 10 steps backward in terms of our moral standards and our educational standards? What do you really think about cohabiting in our high institutions? 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. You can also call 0817 923 0007 or the female caller line, which is 0817 923 0009. The WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. The big question right now is, what do you think about cohabiting in higher institutions? Is it an acceptable norm, or should it be discouraged? When you do call, turn down the volume on your radio. Good afternoon. Hello? Are you there? All right, so you're going to have to call me back. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. You can also call 0817 923 0007 or the female caller line 0817 923 0009. We're also streaming live on Facebook, so you can join the conversation on there. All you need to do is just, drop your comments as you watch, and let me know what your thoughts are at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Please turn off your radio.
This discussion, the way I say it, is this decadence. I don't, it's not a good thing at all for a male and a female to stay in one room. To distract them from their studies, one, and at the end, they will see what they went there for. So I don't support it in any way. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. It shouldn't be supported, because it might serve as a distraction. All right. Good afternoon.
Hello. Yo, I'm smiling, calling you from English here.
Go ahead.
You see, that is to show that there is a high level of moral decadence in our country. Even to me as an individual, even though government maybe adopt that as a norm or standard, I don't really think that I will subscribe to it. So it is not a welcome idea. It's not supposed to be so at all. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Let's look at this another way. Do you think perhaps it's, our perception might be the only influence, to how we're seeing this? Do you think perhaps if we change how we see it, for instance, you have male neighbors, right? I mean, in your apartments, in your houses where you live, you have male neighbors. They don't literally affect how you live your life. I know it's a different case when the male neighbor now lives with you in your flat. I know it's a different case, but here's my point. You have a male neighbor. It's the same thing as having a male, neighbor in your hostel, in the school. Should it make so much difference as to how you perceive of that? Because I mean, if you come to an understanding with your roommate who happens to be a boy, you say, look, I want to dress up. You have to step outside, or I don't know, face the wall. Okay, no, there really is no way to pin this, right? I'm trying so hard to look for a positive way to look at it, but it's really hard, That would be really awkward. But imagine having to do that every single day. Or now he wants to dress up, and you have to face the wall, or you have to, step outside, and perhaps you were cooking or you were doing something. That's just really awkward, Anyway, good afternoon. When you call, you need to turn off your radio so I can hear you clearly. Good afternoon.
Fine afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
This is Coleman here.
Go ahead.
I did my program in 3 higher institutions in this state. And among the 3, I don't think there's any that the picture you are painting does this. And in the process of searching for admission, I visited about 7 to 8 higher institutions in this country. And amongst the one I visited, I don't also think there's any that the picture you painted does exist. But if there's any institution in this country that is practicing, to me, it's condemnable. I'm totally and completely against it. I'm just trying to imagine the picture of a female person being in the same room with a male. She wants to take a bath and she asks me in person to go out so that she will dress and that. No. Please, for me, I'm not in support of it, please.
Thank you very much for sharing. Now, like I said earlier, I will not call the name of the university. In fact, there are 2 universities, as a matter of fact. I will not call their names, but it does exist. Quite shocking, I must say. I mean, when I read about it and confirmed, it was shocking to say the least, So yeah, it's kind of awkward for that to happen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Christy. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, God bless you. I am not really in support of it. It is not easy to keep food and a yam together. Because if you keep a goat and a yam, the goats might love the yam. Yes, gentle approach. And maybe the female, object to it. There might be forceful, attempt, which is actually rape, and it's not, a good one. So that's my opinion. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. Now, let's not make it look as if it's not already happening. Even in schools that have both the male and female hostels, it is already happening. You find that female and male friends cohabit. You'd find that your daughter, who you paid 100,000 naira or 50,000 naira for her hostel accommodation for the semester or for the year, is cohabiting with her boyfriend. So on that premise, it's already happening. You find young boys and girls who live together in the same hostel rooms just because they are friends or they're in a relationship. So it's already happening on that premise. Who condemns that one? Who does? So it might be slightly different, because with that one, the awkwardness of, you have to leave the room when I want to change is not there. But talking about it from the viewpoint of moral standards and educational standards, should an institution even encourage for such cohabitation to take place in the first place? It's quite alarming that a university or an institution, a higher institution, would permit for such a general house in its facility. Or maybe it's not such a bad thing, maybe it's just me. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. You can also call 0817-923-0007, or the female caller line 0817-923-0009. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. I'll be taking our WhatsApp messages shortly at 0809-030-6416. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
My name is Zoe. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Okay. Based on what you're saying, it's happening. I've been a witness to it. I've been a witness. To me, it's very wrong. You see a particular hostel, you see a room, and your next door neighbor is male. They are living there. The other room is female maids, girls that are living there. They cohabit. They bed in the same bedroom. So to me, it's wrong. I don't know why university should even allow that to happen. I've been a witness. River State here, Congo. It's happening. You're correct. But I think they should do something about it because that was increasing the news you read about on the news, like aborting. Because they came to learn the process of wanting to finish up their education, and this happened. They will actually go for abortion, and some of them might end up losing their lives in the process. Or even drop out of school. So to me, it's very wrong. The school authorities should look into it and then do something about it. If they may building more facilities, they should go ahead and do that. Or reducing the intakes of students in schools, they should do that. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's also an area to consider. The number of students admitted per year. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Engineer Abbas Baba.
Go ahead.
What you are saying, in olden days, it happens like that. But just because something got lost, we don't have fear of God anymore. That is why you see that boys and girls turn to good and yam in a room. They brought us up in a place that inside one room we are more than 8. Whenever our sisters want to dress up, nobody will tell you. Immediately you come back from the bathroom, you walk out. That is the fear of God that is in us. That if our sister wants to dress, even though it is your junior sister, you will go out. Whenever it gets up and it comes out, you go back inside. But no more fear of God. People are no more fearing of God. That is why you see things is happening like that. So thank you.
So how do we get people to that place where they have this reverence that you talk about?
Is that what?
How do we come back to that place that we have lost?
Sure, we can get back. We can come back. You see, 2 things happening. You see, devil take love from us and he give us back greedy. If that greedy is no more there, everybody see ourselves like you are my sister, I'm your brother. Even though you keep yourself naked in my front like this, I will move my eyes and go back to another place. I won't let that people enter me to think otherwise. Are you getting me? Even though, okay, now let me just tell you, if you give your life to Christ now, are you getting me? It is that law that you have already soaked yourself into Christ that make you to see that everything that calls sin, S-I-N, everything that calls sin, you will go out of it. You will flee. You won't allow devil to use you to let it happen. That is why I always tell people, prevent it not to happen. Flee from the devil. God bless you.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Gabriella.
Yes, good afternoon. Go ahead.
I enjoyed the opinion of the last caller. Gabriella, we cannot talk about education without talking about Christianity, God's Christ life. Are you with me?
Okay.
It was Roman Catholic that rescued education during the dark age in the Western Europe. Are you aware? Education, per se, is not an abstract idea. It cannot have aim or aims because only human beings can have aim or aims. Education is mindless. Social institutions which cannot have aim and aims. It is man, teacher, that gives aim and aims. Let me tell you, going back to where the man just came from, or where he was trying to just mirror at, it will be difficult. It will be very, very difficult. Like one of the callers said, he said, you want to take yam to goat? Did you look at, can you even imagine the age of pupils today that have been admitted into university? They don't even have what it takes. They don't even understand the goals of education.
All right. Good afternoon. When you do call, you need to turn off your radio so we don't have that holdback. Let's take some messages on WhatsApp now. This says, cohabiting in our high institutions, I laugh in Greek. LOL, let's get ready for unwanted pregnancies. Let's get ready for nose diving of academic excellence. Let's get ready for total collapse of morals, both at home and in the society. This should be totally frowned at. My dad used to tell me that a man and a woman do not cohabit if nothing strong is not enrolled. That's from, or if nothing strong is not involved. All right, Chidi ideally in Transamadi. Male and female in same hostel is not bad, but in same room space is bad. Men are controlled by what they see, and that can lead to immorality. Victor Wealth from Eneka says, good afternoon. When I was in school way back in 1997, my female roommate moved to the boys' hostel to live with her boyfriend. Our house was 4 in a room. The guys had 4 of his friends to be in the room. The others stay off campus. So the girl moved. It is very wrong. As far back as 1997, it was already happening. Good afternoon. That's from Asaya from Kulai says, it is very okay for both male and female to cohabit in the same room. It's called an higher institution. If you cannot control yourself, you can't. People should understand these things. Increase better humans to society. We can't all emphasize on libido. The institution of higher learning should affect the character too. But here's the question, Asai. How can you determine who is or who has self-control? Because you would agree with me that not every adult has self-control. There are people who do things they would rather not, but could not stop themselves from doing it. So you want to have a roommate. You want to have a roommate of the opposite gender. How can you tell that the person you're about to move in with has self-control, wherein they do not misbehave just because you share the same space? How can you tell? Good afternoon, Gabby. School owned and run general hostels. So how are the hostels built? Is it like a 2-room apartment where they share parlor, kitchen and toilets but have separate bedrooms? Or is it just a normal off-camp accommodations where separate flats exist in a large compound? In these days of openness and unverified social media posts, who knows the kinds of allegations boys will be accused of? Even when boys visited girls in girls' hostels, only and vice versa, we heard and even witnessed some sexual harassment, not to talk about them being paired together in a hostel. This table they are shaking. There are consequences. Or text from Oibo says, hello Gabby, we should not pretend this hasn't been happening for years. I attended university between 2005 and 2010, and we knew living couples in school, but this new dimension is what I find strange. Cohabiting in same room officially is a no-no, morally or not. It doesn't even depict proper management, Deji says. Thank you very much, Deji. Let's talk to Ugo now. Ugo says, I have cohabited with several female friends, especially those with accommodation issues. I harbored them, and yes, there were many of them having that issue. I was God-fearing and never took advantage, but I will advise against this except you're strong-willed. I do not believe any institution has such. They happen off camp. Wow, Ugo, thank you very much for sharing. You must be one strong man, or aren't you? Clinton from Agurta says, for the issue you're discussing, it's happening. I've seen it in the University of Lagos, Yaba, where I went to visit my friend. It depends on discipline. I see nothing wrong with it. Good afternoon. I totally disagree. Something really bad happened recently because of the cohabiting thing. She got pregnant for her roomie, as called, and said there was no sign of pregnancy till it was 7 months. Wow. The roomie asked to get rid of it. She obliged, and she dumped the 7-month-old baby. Goodness, in my compound gutter. If not for proper investigation, every tenant in that house would have been arrested. So it's a no-no for me. Goodness, that is just mean. All right, we'll take a final caller and take some messages on Facebook. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Go
ahead.
My sister, it should not happen, no, because I can't walk into the room now. See maybe the lady changing. I can control myself as a person, but the man inside me cannot control. Any rape issue will come out. We should separate them. I don't welcome that idea. You can't see somebody changing. Even though it's their own, I don't know how to put it, but it should not happen. You should separate the whole set. Man and woman living together. Just like keep a yam, the goat will not chop the yam. Now my sister, it is very difficult to. But the pregnancy and abortion will continue if they try that thing. This is a pretty old state. Thank you very much.
All right, Honorable Ida, thank you so much for your thoughts. We'll wrap our conversation up with our comments on Facebook. Prince on Facebook says, it's just too bad the way things are gradually turning. Just too bad, and it should not be encouraged because it will lead to a lot of dangers like unwanted pregnancy, rape, etc. Sunday Rentals says, I'm watching you live. It's too bad the way things are going. It should not be encouraged. And Akman Ukbono says, very, very wrong. But I'm afraid that as time goes on, it will get worse. Nowadays, underage are being admitted into university. And that's another thing, you know, we keep saying, oh, you're an adult, you're in a high institution, you're an adult. But do you realize that right now you have 14-year-olds getting into university? We have 15-year-olds getting into university. Would you consider a 14-year-old girl an adult able to hold her own? Would you consider a 14 or 15-year-old boy able to hold his own? Questions we have to think about. We do have to think these things through. We really do. 1 o'clock, the news update, and right after, conversations continue right here on the sunny side. I am Gabriella. Thank you so much for making this a worthy conversation. Don't go away.